South Carolina. Is that right? Yeah, Mr. Timmons.
Mr. Chairman, we're only 1 week into 2026, and the Democrats are having a tough year. Here we are. This should not be a partisan issue. We've uncovered $9 billion in fraud. It doesn't matter if it's a red state or a blue state. That's $9 billion. And you got to remember, the purpose of these social safety nets is to help people that need help. And when we have that amount of fraud, it undermines the purpose of the social safety nets. The people that want and need the benefits that they are deserving because they're American citizens, they're unable to get them because people are stealing money. And it's even somewhat comical because just a few days ago, when the Trump administration executed the most incredible, they technically executed a warrant on Maduro, a narco-terrorist, they were able to not have a single casualty from our military. They limited collateral damage, and they executed what is truly just a perfect tactical military operation. And the Democrats have gone ballistic over it. Gone ballistic. This man has had warrants out for his arrest for 5 years. He's had a $25 million bounty, which was increased to a $50 million bounty. This is not a partisan issue. He has killed hundreds of thousands of Americans over the last few decades because he's sent drugs here for Americans to use and they've died from it. This is not a partisan issue. Venezuela was a huge step in the right direction. Peace through strength works. We got to get together and we got to work on the issues that the American people want us to work on. And seeking out waste, fraud, and abuse, seeking out $9 billion in theft of social safety net money is something that should not be partisan. And the fact that my colleagues across the aisle are going ballistic over these ridiculous ancillary issues and trying to cast shade over what should not be a partisan issue is just ridiculous. So get it together. We need to do the job that the American people sent us here to do. I want to actually point something out. So Representative Robbins, my understanding is that around $250 million in fraud was found in the 4 years of the Biden administration. There were a number of indictments, dozens of indictments. Is that number about right?
Yes, I think now they're up to about $310 million for the Feeding Our Future.
All right, thank you. So in the last year, we're at $9 billion. Is that the number you got?
Yes, the U.S. Attorney has estimated that the total fraud in the Medicaid portion, which has nothing to do with Feeding Our Future, so it's on top of that $310 million, is half of it is fraud.
Thank you. Mr. Blue, you see where I'm going with this? So you're saying that we have had, we've decimated the budget of the IGs, which, by the way, weren't doing their jobs because we've uncovered, $8.6 billion more dollars in fraud with less resources. So how do you explain your testimony earlier that we've decimated the entities that are designed to investigate fraud when we've uncovered exponentially more fraud with less resources? How do you explain that?
You know, what we've been talking about today is not just regular fraud, but public corruption. And
so this is the thing. We are not having a hearing on public corruption. We are having a hearing on $9 billion in fraud associated with Minnesota social safety nets. And so you keep pushing back on that. You keep pushing back on this narrative that we should be seeking out waste, fraud, and abuse everywhere by saying that the Trump administration has decimated the entities that are designed to seek out waste, fraud, and abuse. And yet, those same entities have uncovered exponentially more fraud.
The problem is that they haven't charged any public officials, and the public integrity section has been
Your logic is flawed, and you know your logic is flawed. I just wanted to point it out. It's okay. So I guess I want to get to this. We have a limited amount of money. We have $37 trillion in debt. We run a $2 trillion annual deficit. And we have spent much of this year seeking out waste, fraud, and abuse, trying to get our fiscal house back in order because we're running out of time. So this cannot be a partisan issue. We cannot solve these problems without a bipartisan approach. So I have a bill that I filed. It's called the TABS Act. And what it does is it uses technology to confirm income eligibility. So $1.5 trillion every year go to social safety nets that are means tested, meaning depending on where you live, if you make too much money, you don't get them. And so if we use technology to real-time verify, you can actually give the social safety net to the person that's seeking it way faster, in most cases immediately, and then you can remove them from that social safety net in real time. In the big, beautiful bill, we changed it from once a year to twice a year, and that saved $10 billion. If you do it in real time, you are going to save 20% of the money. So if you extrapolate that over 10 years, it's about $2.5 trillion in savings for means-tested social safety nets. These are the kind of things we need to be doing. This is not a partisan issue. We all agree that people fall on hard times, and we need to help them up. We need to help them up. But if we have $9 billion of fraud in Minnesota, imagine what we have in California, imagine what we have in New York, imagine what we have across this country, and we've got to get a handle on it because we're running out of time. We can't keep spending money we don't have. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.